Okay, so we look at sequences and series, and the question reads: the second and the fifth terms of a geometric progression are 16 and 2 respectively. Find 1 the common ratio and the first term, 2 the 12th term, 3 the sum of the first 10 terms. Alright, so the picture I'd like to bring in is this arrangement where we have the first term, the second term, the third term, the fourth term, as well as the fifth term. So from the information that has been given, we have the second term, which is a 16, and we have the fifth term, which is a 2. Okay, so the first question is asking us to find the common ratio. So just a reminder, when you're dealing with the common ratio, which is under geometric progression of sequences and series, you can find the common ratio by either saying fifth term divided by the fourth term, or you can say the fourth term divided by the third term, or you can say the third term divided by the second term, or we can say that the second term divided by the first term. But looking at the data that we have, I can't say fifth term divided by fourth term because I don't have the fourth term. I can't say third term divided by second term because I don't have a third term even when I have the second term, and I can't say the fourth term divided by the third term because I don't have either of them. Okay, so we need to do something for us to it's either we need to find the first term to help us find the common ratio with the second term, or we find the third term to help us find the common ratio with the second term, or we find the fourth term to help us find the common ratio with the fifth term. It's up to us. So what I would like to do in this case is I'll just use what I have to get what I want. So what I would say is I know that in terms of the common ratio, the fifth term divided by the fourth term is equals to the fourth term divided by the third term. So it's more like I'm trying to create pairs. This is the first pair. Okay, so the second pair I'm creating is where I say the third term divided by the second term is the same as the fourth term divided by the third term. So to make this much easier, what I'll do here is I'll name my third term as my x, then my fourth term as my y. Okay, so now it's just a matter of replacing. Okay, so what do we have? Our fifth term is 2. Okay, then our fourth term we said is y is equals to our fourth term again is y here. Our third term is x, like that. Okay, then please don't mistake this for matrices. These are just pairs of which I'm just trying to come up with equations. Okay, that will help us find either the third term or the fourth term. All right, then the third term we say it's x divided by the second term is 16 is equals to the fourth term we say it's y divided by the third term, which is x. Okay, so we multiply here, we do the cross multiplication. We're going to get 2x for this one is equals to y squared. Okay, that's what we get there. Then here we are going to get x squared is equals to 16y, like that. So I have this one here and I have this one. So I can choose to make x or y the subject of the formula for any of them. So I'll choose this one in this case. So I'll make x the subject of the formula for that one, meaning from 2x is equals to y, I'm going to have x is equals to y squared divided by 2. Then what I'll do is that what we have here, I'll call this my equation 3. Of course, this is our equation 1, this is our equation 2. Okay, this is our first equation, this is our equation 3 here that we have. This is our third equation. From equation 3, I'm going to get equation 3. Where there's x, I'm going to replace in equation 2. So meaning here, remember to say we have a x squared here. So I'm going to have a y squared over 2 squared is equals to 16y, like that. So what we have here is y to the power 4 divided by 4 is equals to 16y. Okay, we do the cross multiplication there. Um, what you're going to have is 64y then cross multiplying by 1, and y to the power 4 is still y to the power 4. So divide both sides by y. What you remain with 64 is equals to y to the power 3. So you're just basically looking for the third root of 64 here. Okay, so that goes like that. So keep in mind to say when looking for the third root of a value, you're just looking for a number of which you multiply it by itself 3 times to give you that number. So in this case is 4. So our y is equals to 4. So now this tells us that the fourth term that we have found as y is what? Is a 4. Okay, and that will basically help us find the common ratio that we are looking for. Uh, so in this case, we are going to say, okay, now common ratio. Okay, our common ratio is equals to the fifth term divided by the fourth term. Okay, our fifth term is 2 divided by the fourth term, which is 4, giving us 1 over 2, 0.5, which is 0.5 in other words, in decimal places. Okay, so that's the common ratio. From the common ratio, we can find the first term. So how do we get to find the first term? Something that we need to understand is that if I want to find the fifth term from the fourth term, I need to multiply the fourth term by the common ratio. But if I want to find the fourth term from the fifth term, uh, I need to divide it by what? The common ratio. It's either you say I want to divide it by the common ratio or multiply by the reciprocal of the common ratio. It's still one and the same thing. Okay, so that means for me to get the first term, I can say my first term is equals to my second term divided by my what? Divided by my common ratio, of which our second term is our second term in this case is 16 divided by our common ratio is 1 over 2, meaning you are just multiplying the second term by the reciprocal of the common ratio, of which you're just saying 16 multiplied by 2, giving you what? 32. So that means our first term in this case is what? Is 32. All right, so what else are we looking for? We go to the next one. The next one is asking us for the 12th term, and we just get this from the formula. 12 is equals to, the first term is 32. Okay, the first term is 32 multiplied by the common ratio, which is 1 over 2, raised this to power n minus 1. Okay, of which in this case our n is 12, so 12 minus 1 is 11. So you are basically saying 1 to the power 11 is 1. So you see 32 here divided by 2 to the power 11, you are going to get something like you're going to get 2048, of which 32 can go into 2048 64 times, so that would be 64 here. So that would be our 12th term. So going to the last part, which is the sum of 10 terms. Okay, so sum of the 10 terms, for us to, there are two formulas for the sum of the given series of numbers. Okay, so in this case our common ratio is 1 over 2, which is basically means that our value of r is less than 1. So meaning what we do is our sum of the 10 terms is equals to a, or the first term, open bracket, 1 minus r. We could have said r minus 1 if the common ratio if the common ratio was greater than 1, but in this case it's less than 1. So divide by 1 minus r again here. So what we have is that we have our 32 here, 1 minus our r is 1 over 2, then our n in this case is 10. Okay, of course we put those in brackets, divide by 1 minus our r1 over 2. So this is the arrangement that you need to have for you to get the answer, and it's from this point just a matter of either using your calculator or using your head to get the values there. So that's how you go about solving such a question, or this question in this case, on sequences and series. Thank you very much for watching.